Today is an unbelievably exciting day that I think just about every guitar player can relate to. It's New Guitar Day. However, today isn't just your average New Guitar Day. In fact, I've been waiting for this day specifically for nearly 3 years. Today, we're going to unbox my brand new custom guitar from ESP. Now, before we pop this thing open, I just want to take a second to say that I am unbelievably grateful for this opportunity. ESP has been my favorite brand of guitars since I was a teenager. I grew up idolizing Metallica, James and Kirk both, so ESP kind of quickly became my gold standard for what an instrument for heavy music is supposed to be. So the idea of even being on their roster is already a mind-blowing honor. The opportunity to then design my own custom guitar and have it built for me by the company I've been idolizing for so long. Honestly, there are no words to describe it. So Tony and everybody at ESP, thank you. This is a huge, huge honor, and I truly appreciate it. Now, what do you guys say we open this thing up? Here goes nothing, I guess. Oh, wow. That is... honestly, it's making me a little emotional if I'm being completely honest with you. Let me give you guys a peek. Let me get you guys another angle. I can't get over it. This is hands down the nicest guitar I've ever owned by a long shot. Okay, so let's talk specs. I placed this order nearly 3 years ago, so I may forget some of this stuff. I may not get all of it completely right. If there's anything I got wrong or forgot, I'll be sure to leave a note somewhere in the video. First things first, this is the snapper body style, which has kind of become my go-to body shape that I've been playing for the past year and some change. And whereas my other snappers that I have are, I believe, ash and alder, I went with a mahogany body this time around, with a quilted maple top in a finish called Aquamarine Sunburst. And I actually went with a satin finish on this rather than gloss, because I kind of like the way that satin finishes wear in over time. You know, over the next few years, the more I play this, the more it'll start to show where my hand sits, where I might accidentally hit it with a pick, all of that kind of stuff. I really love that. And speaking of picks, I actually went with no pick guard. Most of their snapper body styles come with a pick guard. My others have a pick guard. I actually thought it would be cool to showcase this really beautiful quilted maple top with no pick guard. And I went with a natural back and a natural binding, which I think is a really cool look. And then I went with a roasted maple neck. I've found that I actually prefer the roasted maple. I have a couple guitars with roasted maple necks now, and especially for touring, they're super reliable and super stable. All of the moisture gets roasted out of these in the process of getting this darker color neck, and it actually creates a much stronger neck. So it's not as susceptible to moving from climate change, temperature change, moisture change, all of that. So if you're a touring musician, I can't recommend a roasted maple neck enough. I know that our tech loves it because he doesn't have to adjust it as often. So yeah, then up here, I went with the reverse headstock with my signature on top. I can't believe this is happening still. I never imagined that there'd be a day that I would have a guitar with my signature on it, but there it is. 6 inline tuners. I believe we went with, yep, Goto locking tuners. I'll be sure to get you guys close-ups of all of this stuff here. And then I believe this is a bone nut, if I remember correctly. Pretty sure it's a bone nut. And I'm gonna say bone nut one more time for somebody who inevitably will comment something about me saying bone and nut together. Bone nut. And then let's move over to the fretboard here. This is an ebony fretboard with 24 stainless steel frets. I went no inlays except for the 1st and 12th fret. On the 1st fret, I had the Ghost Inside logo put in for obvious reasons. And then here on the 12th fret, I had the number 1333 inlaid. And so 1333 is actually the number of days from the time of our accident until the time that we stepped back on stage in July of 2019. And so I kind of wanted it there just as a reminder to myself that even on the days that we're on tour, when things might be rough, I may be a little homesick, not feeling the greatest, whatever it might be, that we as a band have overcome way more. Things could be worse. They have been worse. And we got each other through it. And that even on the good days, to really take a second and kind of soak it all in a little bit more and to really make sure that you're appreciating all of this second chance that we've been given. So that's there for me, just for positive encouragement, and just remember what it took to get to this moment. Remember everything that we had to do for me to end up in a position to get this guitar or be back on the road, make music. Just don't take any of it for granted. So it's there for a nice reminder for me. And then here on the side of the neck, we have lumen lay side dots. I believe I went with blue. Pretty sure I went with blue. And then down here, we've got Fishman Fluent modern pickups, which are my favorite pickups. I've been a Fishman artist for quite a while now, and I just love these pickups. They're pretty much incredible in every music setting, and they just keep innovating. In fact, so much so that they've come out with a new pickup since I've ordered this guitar, and I may switch to the new pickups, which are just a new version of these. They're the open core moderns, but I really love the 3 voicing option that gives you. For now, I'm gonna stick with these. I still really love the original Fluence moderns, but maybe somewhere down the line, I may drop the open core moderns in there as well. I went with just one volume knob, one volume pot, no tone pot. I mean, I'm playing metal. I don't really need to roll that back very often, so might as well just get it out of there. And in the place where the tone pot would normally go, I had a toggle switch installed. This toggle switch switches between voice 1 and voice 2 of these Fishman Fluences. And then just a normal 3-way blade switch. And then for me, no guitar is complete without an Evertune bridge. I truly believe that Evertune is probably the coolest and one of the most important guitar innovations in at least my lifetime. That and Fishman also, really. I think that Fishman and Evertune are doing some of the coolest stuff for guitar as far as pushing guitar technology forward. And really, if I ever have any say in speccing out a guitar, it just won't be complete without Fishman and Evertune. So as well as saying a big thank you to ESP for building this guitar for me, I have to say a big thank you to Fishman and Evertune for being so supportive and helping me out over the years and just making incredible products for all guitar players out there. Now on that note, let's plug it in and see what it sounds like. Okay, so we've moved over to the desk and I gave the guitar a little bit of a fine tune, and giving full credit to Evertune here, this guitar came out of the box basically perfectly in tune still. And that's after shipping from Japan to LA to here in Maryland, where we've had freezing temperatures for the past week or so. And even still, the guitar came out basically ready to rock right away. So huge shout out Evertune. All right, I figured the next step should be plug into my Quad Cortex and check out what this thing sounds like through some of my live presets. So what you're going to hear is just the guitar directly into the Quad Cortex, into the computer, with no post-processing at all. And I figured best place to start is with my standard straight up rhythm preset. So let's check it out. Now, I am absolutely blown away by everything about this guitar. I've never personally played a guitar, let alone owned a guitar that is this nice and plays this nice and just feels this comfortable in your hand. And the attention to detail on this thing is just not something that any video or photo could do justice. It's for sure something you have to hold in your hand to really be able to appreciate, but this thing is my perfect instrument in every way. I am eternally grateful to Tony and everyone at ESP for this opportunity to design this guitar, to have this guitar built. Never in my wildest dreams growing up did I imagine that I would end up an artist for my favorite guitar company, let alone having a custom guitar built for me by my favorite guitar company. So this is truly, truly awesome. I can't wait to take this thing out on the road and show it to people up close and personal. And I already feel so much more inspired to just pick up my instrument and play and create and write songs and make videos. So I assure you this will not be the last time you see this guitar or me on this channel. And on that note, I appreciate you guys taking the time to go on this adventure with me. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.